Okay, Vicky?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, I think we're all set now. Let me just give you back the host, then make me co-host as well.
Sure thing. Yeah, let's do
Awesome.
that. Co-host. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think people are starting coming in now.
Yeah, they just can't wait.
I bet they're so excited to see you. They're your regulars.
Yeah, I do have some regulars, I think. They come and go, but that's fine. I love seeing other, new people and repeaters. So yes, and I'll go ahead and introduce you when we start,
No
just so
problem.
folks know that,
That would be great.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks,
let's.
Lester.
No problem. Let's start admitting them one by one.
Hello, everyone. There's Kip. Hey, Kip. Catherine. Hi,
Hello,
Terry.
everybody. Hi, Vicky. Sandra.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Sandra. It's so good to see you, Cassandra. Co is here. Hey, Co. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Hello. Hello, Lita.
Hello.
Hello. Is it Tagar? Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I hate when I butcher people's names. Thanks for that. All right. So Sheila is on. Lynn is connecting. We're going to have a nice big crowd today. So we have someone on as A. Howell. Can I have a first name? Is there a first name? Then maybe I can rename you. And feel free to unmute and or you can rename yourself if you're comfortable doing that. Okay. Hi, Helen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Freddie. We have a bunch of folks who are joining us, I think, trying to figure out how to use Zoom backgrounds it's a popular topic. And it's fun too. It's fun to use all the different backgrounds. We have a couple more folks coming in today. And then I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. We'll talk all about backgrounds. Folks joining us now. I'm on a PC today, but when I talk about setting up backgrounds, it really doesn't matter what device you're on. I'll just walk people through if you're on an iPhone or tablet or laptop like me. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I have to check sometimes. I'm like, yeah, it's Friday. And just so people know, we have Lester with us today. Lester's with our Get Set Up support team. Yay, we love our support folks. They're amazing. Lester is going to be helping me monitor the chat. If anybody has any questions and I've missed them, he'll let me know. Today, feel free, if you have questions, just unmute yourself, ask away, or go ahead and put your questions in the chat. If you're comfortable using the virtual raise hand, you can do that as well. It all works. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. We may have other folks joining us. Absolutely fine. I'm going to go share my screen with you.
Okay.
And let's share the old screen. And just so you folks know, I have two monitors going on today. Some things are on one monitor, some things are on the other monitor. So if you see me looking back and forth, it's just because I need to take a look at different things on different monitors. So just wanted to let you know. First of all, welcome everyone. My name is Vicki. I'm your Get Set Up Guide. I am calling in from San Jose, California. Not sure if we have any other folks on the call from California. If so,
Morgan Hill.
Morgan Hill, right? My neighbor, next door neighbor.
I know. I didn't have to get up at 6 this morning.
Yeah, so I'm calling from San Jose, California, which is in the heart of Silicon Valley. So not surprisingly, I worked in the high-tech industry for 30 plus years, doing a number of different things, technical support, technical training, instructional design. I have taught folks from around the world. I've also taught folks who are very technical, but I've taught lots of folks like yourself who maybe you're just starting to dip their toes into this world of technology, trying to figure out what it's all about. And being a guide with Get Set Up lets me do what I love best, and that is educate folks about technology, doing it in a very respectful way. And one thing that I would love to ask folks, if you could mute your everyone's audio, your microphone, just so that we can cut down on the background noise, that would be great. Just trying to be respectful of other learners. And then if you have any questions, please just unmute yourself and ask away. Thank you. So ideally, we love it when people have their cameras turned on. I understand that for some folks, maybe your cameras aren't working. You may be eating lunch or you're just not feeling comfortable. So I leave this up to you. It's just more fun when we can see each other, your choice. Today's class is being recorded. And if you would like a copy of the recording, you can email us at help@getsetup.io. Just give us the name of the class as well as the date that you attended the class. For those of you who are joining us via live stream, hello and welcome. You can see and hear everything we're doing today, but really the best way to fully participate in a class is to register for a class. I'll be sending after class notes to everyone. You'll be getting an email from me. And if you're joining via live stream, you won't have the opportunity to receive that email. And obviously you won't be able to pose questions in the chat or unmute yourself. So just a little bit about, we're a training organization. I'm not being paid as a guide to promote any specific products or services. We are all about the training. We offer classes now 7 days a week. We have classes, interest groups, social hours that are being offered not only in the US, but in the UK, India, Australia, New Zealand, and we're bringing Singapore on board. So we have offerings 24/7. And I always joke with folks in my class, if you're an insomniac and you're, up at 2 in the morning wandering around, log on to Get Set Up. There'll be something going on, whether we're streaming on our TV or you can take a class or an interest group or take part in a social hour. So a little bit about us. Also, you've noticed some changes on our website. We love it when our community members share their learning with others. So if you've really been enjoying the classes you've been taking at Get Set Up, please share with others. If you have family members, friends, colleagues who you think would enjoy classes and interest groups and social hours, when you register for a class, all you need to do is click on the invite a friend link, whether you're using the mobile or our desktop. Just share information with others, invite them along to take a class with you. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to start by making sure everybody understands what some of the requirements are for actually using a virtual background with your specific device. And then I'm going to show you how to add a virtual background. how to switch them up. And then we're going to finish up today by showing you, I'm on a PC. I'll show you what the app looks like on the PC. But I also want to make sure people understand if you're working on a smartphone or a tablet, what your menus are going to look like. So we'll talk about that as well. Minimum hardware and software. So I would say, the more recent your device is, the newer your device is, the better shot you're going to have for working with virtual backgrounds. I just wanted to click on a link. What I'm doing is I'm bringing up the website here. And this is the support.zoom.us. And I'll include this link with our after class notes. There is a lot here on this screen. There's, things supported with Windows. And as you start to scroll down, I would say if you're on a Windows machine, if you have Windows 7, if you're running on Windows 7 or higher, you'll be able to work with a virtual background. And it's not just the version of Windows, but it's also the version of the Zoom app that you're running on. I always like to refresh or update my Zoom app. And also it has to do with your actual device. And some of you are like, well, how do I know if I have an Intel? I would say, my laptop is about maybe 3 years old and it works fine with virtual backgrounds. If you're on a smartphone, typically, iPhones, they have to be an iPhone 8 and above. The same thing with Android phones. You have to be working on an Android phone 8 and above. And you'll know immediately when you go to your device in Zoom and you try to add a background, you won't even have the option if your device is just too old.
So devices also work with Apple products?
Yes, exactly. And so I'm going to include this article, actually web page, so that you can go through and look at it. I'm not going to go through every single little thing because it was going to take too long, but I do want to let you know that, and I think I have this written down with iPad, I think you need to be like 5th generation or above. And the same thing with, Android tablets. And it's just, you'll either be able to use, I'm on a smartphone, I think it's 6. There's no way. I don't even have the option to use virtual background. So I just wanted to show this to you to make you aware of, just because you have a device doesn't mean you're going to be able to use a Zoom background. And so again, I'll include this webpage in our after class notes. And so very often it's, it depends on your device. If your device is just too old, you won't have the CPU speed, the processing speed to be able to really use the virtual background. Make sure that you are on a more up-to-date version of Zoom if you've been using Zoom for a while and haven't updated your version. And the same thing with the operating system. And on that virtual page, you'll see if you're working on a Mac or you're working on Windows, or, it'll tell you what OS, what operating system, what version you need to be on as a minimum. So that when we talk about hardware and software requirements, that's what we mean. Anybody have any questions on that? And again, I wasn't going to go through the entire web page. There's just way too much there. All right, and stop me if you do. Let's talk a little bit about green screens. Now, for some of you, if you're able to use a virtual background, but maybe it's a little fuzzy, or you may see yourself kind of coming in and out, and you'll notice as I move around, I have a virtual background. Some things get kind of cut out and then they cut back in again. Even though you can use a virtual background, you may still need to use what's called a green screen. And if you've ever watched any, a newscaster or, the people who do the weather forecasters, they have green screens. So it looks like they have their, the map of the US here, but they don't. It's a green screen and someone's projecting a map. What green screens do is they provide a single color, a solid background for you. And this makes it a lot easier for you to work with your virtual background. Now, I'm on a fairly new laptop with a Windows 10 machine, and my virtual background isn't too bad. Depending upon the one I use, sometimes, my hands kind of go in and out. And I suppose I could use a green screen, but if you do get a green screen, what it does is, especially if you have a slightly older machine and you're having some difficulty using virtual backgrounds, it's just not working very well. The green screen, as I said, puts up this solid background in back of you. And that makes it a lot easier for Zoom to distinguish what is your face, what's your body, and what's the background. And so these green screens work. What we've done here is if you go onto like Amazon.com, there are a number of different types of green screens. You can have, this is a really neat little green screen. What it does is it actually attaches to the back of your chair. And there's a green circle that kind of goes around your head and your body. Really portable. It has a little bag that it folds up in, and it does the trick. And that's if you're going to be up close, like I am here. If you're teaching a class, maybe an exercise class, you might want to get one of these larger green screens, because then it covers a much wider area. And if you're going to be further back from the camera, that green screen size will cover a lot more. And so again, you can pick these up. I think this, we looked at Amazon.com. They're there, not crazy expensive, depending upon what size you need. And you'll need to use this green screen if you see that when you select virtual background, your face is sort of coming in and out of the background. It's blending in and out. And that just means your device is just a little bit too slow to really work well with the virtual background. Zoom can't tell where your face starts, your body outline starts, and your background ends. Does anybody have any questions about green screens so far? Because many of you may not need it.
I have a question, not on the green screen, but where on your PC can you tell what you're running? What, if it's Intel or whatever.
Right. And for me, let me see if I can bring this up. I'm going to type out computer. So what I did was on my Windows, I clicked on my start button and I just typed out computer, and I'm hoping you can see this PC where, let me go up a little bit. And then if I right click, let me see if it'll do properties here. Sometimes I have to go to, there are different ways of doing this. This is not what I wanted. Where's is it my PC here? I'm going to include this in the after class notes because there is a way.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
is.
good
And
enough.
you just look at your PC. Let me see, will it do it this way? I right clicked on my PC. Here it is. I right clicked on my PC, and this is where you have information. And so I'll also do this for Mac and PC.
So you have an Intel Core i7. Okay,
Yeah.
you're good.
Where to find properties.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, yeah, because that's a great question, and I'll add it to our after class notes because not everybody's on a Windows machine. And so I just wanted to show you. Yeah, question.
Yes, my question is about you said about updating a Zoom app. How do you go about updating a Zoom app?
Sure, I'll be happy to show that to you in just a minute. Hang on.
Okay.
Because I'm going to bring in my desktop app. So any questions about a green screen? Yeah, they're not really super expensive, depending upon what you want to purchase.
As I understand,
Yeah, sure, Sandy.
as I understand, a green screen basically eliminates the fading when you're moving in and out.
Yes. Yeah, it does. And honestly, you could even put a sheet behind you that has a solid color, and you could experiment with that first to see if it works.
Like a white sheet?
I would probably do maybe a little bit darker. You could try a white sheet and see, or try one if you have like a light color, see if that works also. Give that a shot first before you start hopping online. But the green screens are designed just for this. So,
Okay.
but give that a shot first, see how it works.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. All right. So let's just hop into this. Now we've talked about green screens. We've talked about software and hardware requirements. How do you start working with virtual backgrounds? Now, I'm just going to show you on the desktop right now, but towards the end of class, I'm also going to we have screenshots. What does it look like on your smartphone or tablet? So what I've done is, let me just bring this in here. I've gone here and I actually have my app loaded. Let me just resize my share. Just, it's going to get, you'll see everything in back. We don't want that. So this is my Zoom app. I've downloaded it onto my desktop. By the way, when you're working with Zoom, you can work on the browser version, you can work on the app, and this is what it'll look like also if you're on a smartphone or on a tablet. And in terms of
I don't see
updating
the
your
app.
Zoom app. Oh, does anybody not see the app?
You have a partial.
All right. If
I
I
just
move it
see
here.
settings, the previous screen is up.
Okay, all right, let me try this then. Hold on one second. Let me stop my share for a moment because there's different ways I can do this. Sometimes things work better than others. Hang on. Thanks for letting me know too.
Okay.
All right, let's try this. Let's give this a shot. Is this any better?
Yeah.
Yes, all right, sorry about that.
I think
So this is
no.
my,
Is that your app?
my app. Can you see this?
Where are we probably looking at?
It has the time, it just says return to meeting. There's a plus sign, there's a schedule. I don't know.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, return to meeting, there's schedule, join.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is my app. This is my Zoom app that
Okay.
I'm showing you. Now,
But you
I have,
also,
yeah.
Vicki, you're losing space because participants are also showing. So if you get rid of that, we'll have more room to look at things.
Yeah, now, if you want, if it's easier for you, switch to your speaker view. So everyone, if you switch to your speaker view, and if you're on a PC, you can go up to your upper right-hand corner of your Zoom.
I did that.
window.
You still have the participants showing.
All right. Well, let me see. Let's see if this works any better.
It's still showing.
Okay.
It's taking real estate. It's taking real
Yeah.
estate.
If I click on return to, if I
Oh.
click on return to meeting,
Uh-huh.
I get your picture, but I get the return to meeting, that screen before superimposed on you on that.
All right, let's try this. Hang on one second. Let me stop the share one more time. Let me try a different
Okay.
share. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me do, let's do this one. Hang on. Let me do this. Wow, okay. This is very, yeah, it just won't let me do this. I'm thinking about, I want to show you. All right, well, this is what I'm going to do instead. We have the slide, and that'll show you how to do this. So I really was hoping for something else, but that's okay. We'll do
This
it
slide
here.
is only part. This slide's only partial. Oh, there you go. It's getting better.
There we go.
You're better.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this. Okay, so what you'll be doing is, and I'm gonna show you on my, I wonder if I can do it on my Zoom. So when you click on the little settings. There's a gear when you're in your app. And when you click on that gear, what it does is it brings up this setting screen. And by the way, this is the same screen that you see when you're in a Zoom meeting and you click on the little white down arrow next to the turn camera on, turn video on button or start video button. It's that little down arrow button. So anyway, what I'm showing you is you don't even have to be in a Zoom meeting to start to use your virtual background. So if you're on a PC, from within your Zoom application, you'll click on that little gear icon and you will get to your virtual background. So when you click on the gear icon, you'll select backgrounds and filters, just like you can see here. And then some of you may have these pre-filtered backgrounds set up for you. Not everybody does. Some of you may see the little Golden Gate Bridge. You may see the grass, the little earth over here. And if you do see them, you can always select one of your filtered backgrounds. And then in this preview, it will show you what you look like there. Now, when you click on the gear settings, if you don't have backgrounds and filters, what that means is that your device is just too old and it won't support virtual backgrounds. So that's the giveaway. So yeah, question.
I had someone trying to help me with this just last week, and my laptop isn't old. It may not be expensive, but I just got it during the pandemic. So it's less than a year old, but I don't have any backgrounds downloaded and I don't know how to do that.
I'm going to show you how to do that.
Okay.
So yes, and
Sorry, but you also tell us about iPad backgrounds?
Yes, I will. I'll do that as well. Sure thing. And so I just wanted to show you when you click on the little, on the gear icon, this is the background. This is the screen that you're getting when you select backgrounds and filters. Some of you may have some of these predefined filters. Some of you may not. And then to actually create add a background, you can click on this plus sign. Now, let me see if I can, I'm going to just stop my share for a moment, if that's okay with you. And what I wanted to do was just show you how on my screen, what it's going to look like when you're in a Zoom meeting, because it's almost the same. So what's really nice is when you select a Zoom background, you don't even have to be in a meeting. You can just open up your app, click on that little gear icon, and then select, play around with your different backgrounds, see what they look like, and then you can just start a meeting. You don't even have to invite anyone. You can start a meeting, see if you like your background, and I'm going to show you how do you switch your backgrounds up during a meeting. And so let me go ahead and share my screen a different way, and I want to see if you can see that. Let's go down here. Can everyone see the bottom of my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So when I click, we're in a Zoom meeting. When I click on this little up arrow button right next to my stop video, for you it may be start video. When I click on that arrow, and again, right now I'm showing you how to use this on a PC, but it's very similar on a tablet or a smartphone. So when I click on that little up arrow, not the actual stop video, but the up arrow right next to it, this is where I have my menu. And when I click on choose virtual background, and by the way, if your device is just too old, you won't even have this. So if we click on choose virtual background, this is the same screen you were seeing before that I was showing you. this is what it looks like when you bring up your app. Background and filters is selected. I have a few of these filters, these backgrounds, excuse me, that come with my my Zoom version, and I just click on them, and you can see, for me, I'm in this little preview, and you can see what it looks like. We also have a blur, which is really nice. And so you'll just go through, some of these have motion. You can see the motion. This is the palm tree. But if you don't have any, backgrounds, let me show you how to add them. Now, let's start just by talking about the PC. There is a plus sign over here because I realize when you go to your background and filter screen, not everybody has a background to choose from. So if you click on this plus sign that I'm circling right around here, if I click on the plus sign, it brings up a little menu, add image and add video. If you click on add image now, because I'm on a PC, what happens is it's opening up File Explorer and it's going to my hard drive, my C drive. And I can select an image. I might have some here. I don't even know what this image is, but if you have any image files, whether it's a JPEG file, one of these PNG files, and Zoom will also let you know what other files are supported. Any image that you have downloaded to your hard drive, you can select. And then, for example, let's see, I had one I wanted to, this hotel. Where did it go? Where did it go? Let me see if I can find it in here. No, I had another one that I wanted to show you, but at any rate, you would just select that file, click open, and what it's going to do is it's going to display here in this gallery at the bottom. And these are some files that I've downloaded from the internet. And when they become available to you in your gallery, you can simply select on them and then they change your background image. And so again, on a PC, what I did was I clicked on the plus sign, I selected add image, and then whether it's a MacBook or a Windows machine, you will then have File Explorer opened up and you can go anywhere on your hard drive where you've saved images, photos, and then simply select the photo, the image, and then it will add it to your gallery over here. Anyone have any questions so far?
After you select the image, do you have to click on something else?
Yeah, so I'm just going to go add an image. Who even knows what some of these are? I'm not even sure what they are, but we'll just add an image. It adds it down to the bottom here. And then when you select it, it now shows as your
You're on the wrong screen. Go back to your select, where you select image, that
okay,
screen.
add an image, okay. And
There
then
we go.
I
That-
simply selected it,
And then click open,
click open,
and that's it.
and then what it does is it adds it, and then it also puts it up for you. So I have two of these, I don't need them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And there was a question about, oh, and Lester already answered it. What is mirror my video? So if I click on mirror my video, do you see how it just sort of switches it back and forth, left and right? And the other thing here is, does everybody see I have a green screen right over here? Now, if I click on, and I don't have a green screen up, if I click on, I have a green screen, do you see how I'm fading into the background? This is what will happen if your machine is maybe a little bit too slow or doesn't have just is a little bit older. And even though you can select a virtual background, you're seeing some of this, that will improve if you use a green screen. So because I don't have a green screen here, when I selected it, it got all fuzzy and you couldn't tell where my body started and the background stopped. So that's when, if you're having that kind of a problem, if you select, I have a green screen, and actually put a solid background up behind you, whether you go out and buy a green screen or work, see if a sheet will work, that's going to help with that issue.
I have a question, Vicki. Are you going to be showing at some point how to go to a site and transfer an image to your computer?
Sure,
Okay.
I'll be happy to do that. Yeah, sure. And so this is, let me just go back to my good old background. And so this is how you can start adding images that you've downloaded to your machine. And also I'm going to talk about, if you're working off of a tablet or a phone, how you can use images from your camera roll. And the other thing that you can do is, I mentioned that some images, especially the ones that come with Zoom, if you do have access to them, they have movement. You can add video images as your background. So for example, if I click on this plus sign here, instead of selecting add image, if I select add video, if you've downloaded any .mp4 files or .mov files, those are two different types of video files. If I were to select this one, I think I downloaded it from another site that I'm going to show you, and click open, you'll notice that it's added this new image, this movie file to video file to my gallery, and it's selected it. So that's a way that you can add images that have movement. Now, that said, I would just be careful, because I've seen people who have added moving images to their background, and there's just way too much action going on, and it can be really actually distracting. So that is how you can add a video to your background.
How do you get the video? How do you get the video to play? For instance, the water is just sitting there. How do you get it to continuously move?
You'll download a video file, and when I clicked on the plus sign and I clicked on add video, what this is doing is it's already selecting for me any video files. So it's going to look for these .mp4, or if I have any .mov files that I've downloaded to my hard drive, to my laptop. And so these specific video files already have movement created in them. And I'll show you where to go for that too. I'll show you where I've found some nice ones. Let me take a look. We've had a couple of questions. If you set up your virtual background on a particular device and computer, will that image carry across to your other devices? No, you'll need to do this for, I believe, your other devices as well, because I'm on a PC, and if I were to bring up my smartphone, I would have to set an image for that device as well. They're two separate devices. And what if your video is shorter than your Zoom class conversation? Oh, do you mean if it doesn't take up the whole space? You can.
No, excuse me, that was my question. What I meant was, if you have like a 3 to 5 minute video of a waterfall that, for whatever reason, that you took when you were hiking or something, but your Zoom class is an hour, is it going to be on a continuous loop? Or is it going to stop after 3 minutes and you don't know what you're going to get?
That's a great question. I know that the video files that I download that are specifically made for Zoom backgrounds, they're on a continuous loop. I have a feeling it may only run for those 3 minutes. Video, it's only, and let me check on that. What a great question. Thank you. And I'll see what I can find and add it to our after class notes.
Vicky,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my question on syncing the background across all the devices. I missed your answer because I had to answer the doorbell.
Oh, yeah, you'll need to be selecting different backgrounds for your different devices. You know, for example, I'm on a PC, and this background is for my, I found it on my hard drive. And so on my phone, I would go and select a video image or just a regular photo image from my camera roll. That may or may not be the same. So you'll need to set it for different devices.
Okay, so I have to, each one is different then.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to click on the close button here, and let me just show you where I've been able to find some of my my videos. And by the way, don't forget, you know, if you're going to be using a green screen, you'll click on this, I have a green screen, in addition to selecting a virtual background. And that will help you, you know, get past this problem where you're doing one of these, you're kind of fading in and out. So you'll be clicking this as well. All right, let me show you some of the websites that I found. So I am, let me go ahead and share my screen with you. And what I did was I just went to, opened up a browser window, and I just typed out great virtual backgrounds for Zoom. And there are lots of them. Some of them are free, coolest backgrounds to use. Select something, and then, you know, this one allows you to just scroll through. I personally like more less colorful ones. So, you know, there are these. If you're not seeing what you like here, let's go back to another. Let's do great virtual background images for Zoom, something like that. Let's see, what do we have here? Download for free. You know, here are a couple, there's a neat one. You can just, you know, I right clicked, I'm on using my mouse. I right clicked, I saved image as, you can download the image. It depends on the site. And then if I go to my downloads folder, I'm just giving it, this is a JPEG file. I'm going to type out Yellowstone. It's in my downloads folder. And then if I go back to my Zoom screen, if I go to, I click on the up arrow, and then I'm going to select choose a virtual background. Then if I click on this plus sign and I select add an image, if I select Yellowstone now and click on open, there's my Yellowstone background. Kind of neat, looks pretty fun. There's a lot you can do here.
Vicky, to transfer from the site that you were at to your computer, what are the steps?
Sure, no problem. So
what I ask another question quickly?
Yeah, sure, Lynette, go ahead.
How do you know if it's safe to download certain backgrounds onto your computer?
Yeah, you know, there's always that risk there. What you can do here is this particular site. There are some sites, you know, there's one site that I go to, it's called Pexels, P-E-X, right here, pexels.com. I know a lot of folks go to pexels.com. There's free videos and images. They're a pretty good site. They're they're pretty safe, and they have lots of different themes. And so what you can do is, this looks pretty interesting. You can click on a particular image from pexels.com, click on free download, and then what it'll do is it'll save it to your downloads folder. And so it really depends on the site. If there are sites where they allow you to download, you'll click on download. Otherwise, what I did was, on that previous site, Sandy, I right-clicked on the image and I selected save image as file. And then it saves it to my, my download.
So basically,
you.
You can do a right click
And then, yeah,
and then paste it into your.
yes. And let me go, that's what I did before. Let me go back to that one. I right click on the image and then I selected save image as. And then it, because I'm on a Windows machine, it's going to bring me to downloads. And I can just give it a name. I don't know, the Wild West.
And that does it automatic. The save image will pop by itself.
Mhm.
Oh, that is nice.
So it'll save it to my hard drive. And then when I'm back in Zoom, when I go and I click on the little up arrow button and I select choose virtual background, when I click on that plus sign over here on my preview screen and select add an image, if I navigate to my downloads folder, because I'm on a Windows machine, and I select, this is the image that I just downloaded, and click open, there's my Wild West image.
And how do I do that on an iPad?
I'm
Where
going
do
to
I
show
find
you.
it?
Yeah. So when you're,
And you can do that for
I'm sorry, Sandy, what was that?
and then you can do that for moving an action thing as well as a waterfall, same thing.
Yes, yes. So if I go back to my, oh, let me just close this for a moment. So we don't have two things. When I go back to my website, my browser, let me just go back. I can grade, how about grade video, virtual background,
Oh, okay.
Zoom, something like that. I think that's where I got it from. Video backgrounds. And there's all different websites for this. And again, you can just, this one's going to take its time. And some of these just move around and you'll need to see what they do. And so this is just one site. There's so many more. And again, all I did was I just searched for, you can search for free.
I noticed the word download. Is that how you do it? Click on that, or you can still do the right click?
It depends on the site. You probably can do both, but if there's an option to download, I just use the download option, the free download.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'll put that in directions in your notes.
Sure, sure. To download images and videos. And so when you download those videos, they'll be on a continuous loop and you won't have to worry about, well, the waterfall only went for 3 minutes. That doesn't happen. You don't have to worry about that. All right, so we talked about setting up your desktop and let's do background and voila, we've seen that. Let's talk about virtual backgrounds for your mobile devices. So what you'll be doing is on your smartphone or your tablet, when you open up your app, you'll actually need to start a meeting first. You'll start a meeting and then you'll go into, you'll see that there's this more button and it has 3 dots. When you tap on that more button, you will then see another menu that drops down. And this is where you'll select your virtual background. And again, if your phone is too old, it's not, an iPhone 8 or an Android 8, you won't even see this virtual background option. And so you'll select a virtual background. Let's see if we have, whoops, we don't have it. I'm going to get some pictures for you there. I thought Bob might have some screenshots. Let me get some screenshots of what it'll look like. And what you'll do is when you select the virtual background, you'll have a very similar look and feel for what I was showing you when I was selecting my virtual background. You may or may not see some of these. Let's go here. You may or may not see some of the preview, the previously loaded. There'll probably be 2 or 3 of them for you, but you will have the same option to tap on the plus sign. And when it goes to add image or add video, instead of bringing up File Explorer, what it will do is open up your camera roll, and any pictures or videos that you've taken with your tablet or your smartphone, you'll be able to select from your camera, from your pictures that are stored on your smartphone or tablet. And then they'll add them to the gallery, just like you've seen here. And they'll add it as your background. And so that's the only difference between working on a PC, like a Windows or a MacBook, and working on a smartphone or a tablet. When you click on this tap on the plus sign and select image or video, it's going to go to your camera roll, your photos. And by the way, when you install the Zoom app, it's going to ask you to grant Zoom permission, gain access to your camera, microphone, and you'll want to say yes, because if you don't, it won't be able to access your photos, your images, or videos from your camera roll. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I do. This
Yeah.
is Veronica. I wanted to know how I have a background on my iPhone, but I want to remove it. And I haven't been able to figure out how to do that.
Okay, so for example, let's say I select this as my background. What you can do is you can always click on, I don't know if you can see this. Can I make this larger? No, it won't let me. Oh, sorry. You can always select the X right over here. And again, I'm on the PC. So if I click on the X, it will remove, it'll delete that from my gallery. Now on the phone, my phone's a little bit too old for me to show, because it doesn't support virtual background. So I can't even show you this on my phone. Probably could have done it on my iPad. iPhone, delete your background, because you can change your background and delete it. I'll just go ahead and add that. See if I can give you a screenshot from my iPad on how to do that. And I'll add it to the after class notes. I just don't have my iPad with me here. I have my other 3 computers, but not my iPad. But you definitely can. You can remove a background and you can use a different one. So for example, if you don't like the background you're currently using, when you go to your virtual background, you can always select a different background to use from your camera roll, and then it'll just show on your new virtual background. You just tap on a different photo. How do you update your Zoom? So one of the ways that you'll do that is when you're on your app, you will click on and I wish I had a screenshot of it. You'll click on your profile, your Zoom profile, It may, for me, I have a little picture with my profile. And then when you click on your Zoom, that profile icon on your Zoom app, it's in the upper right-hand corner. There's a menu that drops down. And one of the options is to look for updates. And if you select look for updates, if there are any Zoom updates, it will go out to the internet and it'll automatically download your Zoom update. So if you're on a PC, that's how you can do it. If you're on a smartphone or a tablet, what you'll do is you'll go to your App Store. Whether if you're on an Android, you'll go to the Google Play Store. If you're on an Apple device, you'll go to your the Apple App Store. And then in the upper right-hand corner, you'll tap on your icon, your profile icon. And as you scroll down through the lists of applications, when you get to Zoom, it'll let you know if there are updates for Zoom as well. And I'll go ahead and add that because I do have a screenshot for you. And it's easier if I can show you the screenshot in the after class notes. Otherwise, it's more difficult to show you or to try to walk you through it. So I have something to share with you. Update your Zoom version because that's important too. You want to do that from time to time. I'll be happy to add that. A lot of good stuff coming your way in the after class notes. Any other questions? How do I put a still life headshot on your thumbnail? Oh, are you talking about adding a photo to your profile picture? Is that what you were thinking about?
What I was thinking about is that I know that a lot of people, particularly in work settings, don't have virtual backgrounds. They just have the black background with a still life sort of portrait thumbnail in the middle of a black background. And I was wondering about how to do that.
Oh, so if I stop my video for a moment, something like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you do is in your Zoom account, you'll go into your user profile and you will add a photo. You can add a photo to your profile, your Zoom profile. And you can go into the app. You can just tap on your little circle that has your profile information on it. And then it's easy to just add an image.
Vicky, question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 7-year-old Lenovo computer that I run Windows 10 on, but it says when I try to set up a virtual background, it says my computer does not support that. So is it telling me that my computer is too old?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's just not fast enough. There are certain system requirements. Yeah. I hate to be the bearer.
If he put a new SSD drive, would that handle it?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, Cindy? I missed it.
If he put an SSD drive, a new one in, wouldn't that?
Well, you can always update your system. You can do that. So it's probably more about processing speed, but you can always upgrade your system if you wanted to do that. Or you could purchase a newer machine.
But he's still stuck with a hard drive instead of a solid state one, though.
Yeah. I believe so. Any other questions that I can answer? I'm hoping people feel more comfortable knowing that they can add a Zoom, a virtual background now, whether it's an image or a movie, how you go and download, how you find images on the web, on the internet, and then just download them as a file to your device. So that was the goal for today. We talked about system requirements. Pexels is another great, I'll put that in there, pexels.com is another great website that I like to use for my images. And I just wanted to thank everyone today. We're coming up on the hour. I can't believe it, but thank you so much for joining me today and for being patient when I tried to show my screen in a way that wasn't working today. I'm going to need to think about that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
So
go.
if I click on share screen now,
Mhm.
I get a message that the host has locked. So do you have to do your virtual background before you join a Zoom session?
No, you don't even have to share your screen. So when you're in your Zoom class like you are right now, you can go down to your Zoom or up to your Zoom control bar, and where that stop or start video icon is, there's that right up arrow button.
Right.
Just to the right. If you select that,
Oh.
that will allow you to select choose
Okay.
virtual background, and you can do that on the fly. You can set your virtual background before you start a meeting or do it while you do a meeting during a meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. Lots of great questions, and I'll make sure that I can get as many answers to your great questions as I can. Hopefully I'll be able to get all of that information to you. We have so many other classes on Zoom, and if you go to the Get Set Up website and in the search guides and classes, if you simply type out Zoom, there is the list of classes that we offer for Zoom. I'm going to press enter on my keyboard just to show you, how to look like a superstar. This talks about lighting. How do you set up lighting to improve that image? We have lots of tips and tricks on Zoom. That sounds good. We talked about, this is for our Zoom virtual backgrounds. We have, there's another class for creating custom virtual backgrounds. You can also join a host practice session to practice being a host. And if you're interested in how to use Zoom's whiteboard and annotations, this is another great class. So we have lots of them. Go ahead and take a look. And really, I'm going to stop sharing. That's going to do it for me today. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I had a great time. And again, I'll be sending you lots of after class notes with all these goodies. And so go ahead and practice. Get onto, you can just practice, start a Zoom call and practice changing your virtual backgrounds, download images. Sandy's got one with movement going there.
Yes.
And for those of you who think you might need a green screen, see if you can tack up a sheet somewhere to create that solid background and see if it helps you. Otherwise, there are inexpensive green screens that you can purchase. All right. Well, thanks so much, everyone. We're just past our hour. It was great to see you. Have a great rest of your Friday and your weekend.
Thank you very much.
And I hope to see you in other classes. I teach other Zoom classes in Google and, all kinds of stuff. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.